frame. So Morena, and welcome to everybody who's here. Welcome to our members of the public, to our staff, and particularly councillors around the table. Now I want to just start with apologies from the Mayor. Len's dad's not well, so he is with him as we speak. So I guess our thoughts are with his family on that issue.
Christine?
We've got apologies from Chris Darby for absence on council business and Councillor John Watson for absence. Any other apologies?
Chair, we must acknowledge Councillor for passing of Councillor
Yes,
Fletcher's.
no, we have acknowledgements and achievements in item 5.
Well, I'm just saying that may be apologies for Councillor Fletcher for that reason.
Okay. Why don't we do that? Apologies for Councillor Fletcher, we'll add. Okay, I'll move that. Is there a seconder? Yep. Councillor Cooper? All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Declarations of interest on any issues? No. Confirmation of the minutes. I'm happy to move the minutes of the 31st of March.
Happy to second.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Walker. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Now we've got acknowledgements and achievements, and the Mayor has, in the usual way of this meeting, acknowledgements of people who've passed. So I will. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me if I stand. So I've got three acknowledgements. Alex Smith, Curtis Ho, Bill Savisi, and Councillor Fletcher's mother. What we'll do is I'll read these and then we'll take a moment and stand in silence for these people. Alex Smith was synonymous with Clevedon. After migrating north from Taranaki to North Road to a new dairy farm with wife Bella, Alex set about developing the farming business with the same energy and determination he exhibited in his life. Alex's community involvement began with a local primary school where all 6 of the Smith children started their formal education. He went on to be an integral member of Federated Farmers, the Takanini Dairy Cooperative and AMP Association. Alec was elected to Manukau Council in 1983 and was extremely passionate about the work that involved. He was proud to represent his community, and he was particularly interested in roading, planning and bylaws. He performed admirably and was a highly respected councillor. One of Alec's biggest passions was the next generation. He spent many hours fostering young people, whether it was hosting exchange students or putting on a barbecue after a young farmer's water ski event. Alec and Bella were always warm and welcoming, and Alec sponsored and encouraged young people from all over the district and beyond to advance themselves and experience new adventures. He gave advice and direction. At 92, Alec was Cleveland Lions' oldest member and an active fundraiser for the South Auckland Hospice, Clevedon Volunteer Fire Brigade and local sea rescue and kindergartens. The pillar of the Clevedon community, Alec was well respected and highly regarded, and he'll be missed a great deal. He's survived by 5 of his children and 9 grandchildren, and he was 96. So we'll stand and acknowledge Alec in a moment. It's always quite moving reading these when you realise what extraordinary lives some of these people have. It's amazing. Now Curtis. The sad news of the early death of former Blues player Curtis, I'm not too sure. It is Hau, yeah, just to make sure. This rocked the rugby community. Curtis was just 31 when he died after a prolonged battle with cancer. A proud father and loving husband, Curtis showed he was a promising forward while at Sacred Heart College and made his debut for Auckland in 2005 against the British and Irish Lions before playing his first match for the Blues the following year. It was a career stopped short. Curtis played 53 games for the Blues and was diagnosed in 2011 with Ewing's sarcoma in his rib, a rare and lethal form of bone cancer. His brother Leon says stopping playing rugby was really hard for Curtis because it was such a big part of his life, but he always put his family needs first. He was a humble, respectful and a man of integrity. Curtis is survived by his wife Frida, and his much adored daughters, Alia and Sienna. And Alia's 8 and Sienna is 6. The next acknowledgement is for the wonderful Bill Savisi. And all of us would know of Bill and have mourned his passing. Bill was born in Tonga and wrote more than 200 songs over his 6-decade-long career. That was Bill who helped popularise the Hawaiian style of music in New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and he did it with a ukulele, a bright Hawaiian shirt and a spectacular smile. The New Zealand Hall of Fame includes Bill, and when he received that honour, he said, "Now I'm 92 years old, the legs are getting weak, the eyes are getting dim, but I've still got my mind to put me in an ocean of music." Len has written quite a personal tribute to Bill, so these are Len's words. "My tribute today is just one of the many in the wake of Bill's death, and just a few days ago at his Mount Albert home. He made such a huge contribution to the city, mainly through his music, but also through his love of family and community. For 15 years, his bands took to the stage at the famous Orange Ballroom in Newton. It was a grand old venue where romance was born and lifetime relationships were made. Bill was a mentor to many talented musicians and will be remembered for many things, but I think it was his effort and success in getting the ukulele into classrooms that will be his lasting legacy. It's because a generation of youngsters got to experience something unique and special, and many generations still to come will as well. He dreamed that every child in New Zealand would play the ukulele, and by many accounts many do as a result of that wish. The Band in Heaven, which now has some exceedingly famous members, will have a marvellous addition by way of Bill and his ukulele, and he'll be one of the sweetest sounds. Now, we also, as Councillor Cooper mentioned, need to acknowledge Councillor Christine Fletcher's mother. Councillor Fletcher, welcome. It was with great respect that we note the passing of your mum. And the tributes, I don't have anything formally written, but the tributes that have been made in her honour say that she died a gracious and warm and loved woman, and we acknowledge your role and the difficult time that you've had in these weeks leading up to her death. So I'd like us to stand and acknowledge these people who've passed. Thank you all. Now, we have no petitions, but we did have a request for public input, and we have Penny Bright here. Penny, the Mayor has declined the request for public input, and we've read your emails. What I'm going to suggest, and councillors, if you agree to this, because the request has been denied, that is how it is, I'm going to suggest that we deal with public input at the end of what will be a very short meeting, and then I will close the meeting. And for those of us who are interested and happy to hear what Penny has to say, I think we're quite interested in the whole issue of the signage bylaws. We can do that in our own capacity, and I hope that meets favour with you. Councillor Casey.
What was the reason that was turned down?
That was emailed out to us. It was a reasonably long email. I'm sorry.
Just a brief version of it?
The brief version was that the bylaw has already been enacted and there were opportunities to participate in that. B, that Auckland Transport has the right to make those bylaws, and C, that there's nothing that this organisation can do about it in the interim or prior to the election, and that it may be best dealt with post-election. That's my understanding, Mr. Chief Executive, is that those are the reasons the Mayor gave. But I think if there's an informal process to deal with that at the end, that would be...
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Yes, Councillor Quacks.
A change of precedent in business is a procedural matter and needs to be put to the vote in order to change that.
No, I'm not doing that, Councillor Quacks. No, what I'm doing, sorry, I'll just explain it again. We will simply deal with the meeting as it stands, and then we'll close the meeting, and people are then free to, I'm going to invite Ms. Bright to address us, and then we'll carry on with our workshop after that, so no precedence of business is required because we're not dealing with it within the formal body of the meeting.
And we do have a long workshop.
And we have a very long workshop ahead of us.
But just on that, Deputy Mayor, I'm happy with that, but what I do want, my request for speaking rights.
Point of order, Madam
Point
Chair.
of order.
Point of order.
Councillors.
You've turned that down. You've
That's
turned the
fine.
lady
I
down.
think that's absolutely fine. Councillors, you know, every now and again,
Well-
we are in a democracy and I think we just need to make it so. So let's
That's
move
not
on
a-
to local board input. There is none. Extraordinary business, there was none
Madam Chair,
advised.
I find the reason for declining the public input in this case unconvincing. The question of Auckland Transport being involved in election signs is controversial. It's not really transport related, and I think it's worthwhile hearing a viewpoint, another viewpoint perhaps,
A point
on
of
this
order, Madam
matter.
Chair. Point of order.
And
Point
we've
of
already
order.
moved on,
Oh, point of
councillor.
order.
We are now
No, I
on.
want a point of order I want to make.
Point of order,
Well, the
councillor.
point of order is that once a decision is made by the chair that as to whether a
agreeing
public
with you,
input would
councillor.
occur or not,
Yep,
that's the end of the
indeed.
matter. So councillors shouldn't
Yes.
trifle with the chair and start addressing the issue.
Thank you, councillor, which is why we're
not
now
trifling.
we're now on item number 10, notices of motion. There are none. Item number 11, warm welcome to Steve Armitage and Pam Ford, who are going to give us an update on the tripartite
Madam
economic
Chair.
summit in 2016. Councillor
Sorry, did I miss any
Penrose.
achievements? Did I miss something there?
You are absolutely correct. So I will just stay there for a second. We can take them as read. Did you have an achievement you wish to add?
I just
councillor?
want-
I think you did very well on that.
I just want, look, I think there's some great achievements there, but I also want in particular, at a time when we're going through such growth in Auckland and under scrutiny within our building section, the Solgrim Award, and I did send a photo to you, Madam Chair, of the award itself. It's an unusual looking statue, but I just want to acknowledge the building team across the Auckland region, Madam Chair.
That is a very good catch, councillor Penrose. I think that is worthy of note, as is the fact that you have currently managed to organise for 80 dogs
Yes,
to be,
absolutely.
88 dogs to be in better control than they were before. So I think that's a very good achievement. I do apologise, councillors. I was focused on our acknowledgement of people who'd passed.
I'd just like to
Councillor
speak
Wood.
to that. And Callum knows that I've got this position on the dog issues, but, you know, it's okay to say that we're dealing with these menacing dogs, but people are being seriously maimed in dog attacks. And there is a
This
penalty
isn't
of 3 years
There's
or
nothing on the agenda
$20,000
that allows
for
us.
people who's...
There's no debate on
No,
dogs today, George.
well,
You want to start the debate?
I
I'll
just
be
want
the
to make
next
that
up.
point that
Councillors,
this
councillors.
council has got, if we're going to be the prosecuting authority, we have got to make every step, take every step to make sure that
Not
the
on the
maximum
agenda,
penalties
George.
are imposed when these
The agenda.
attacks take place.
Shouldn't be
Indeed.
trifling
So
with the
that's an
agenda.
issue that we
So we're
need
not-
to...
trifling
Happy
with the
to have
business
the
of the
Wait,
meeting.
hang on, councillors, look, this is, I
think he's trifling.
I would like,
No, it's...
there's
I'm
nothing
serious.
like dogs to get everyone excited in the morning. So let's
was
just
making.
take a
That's
deep
what he
breath
was-
and say,
Well, I'm just
can we
saying,
just
Georgia,
take
I'm
a
just
moment?
remembering that.
Councillor
I've
Wood,
just got
shush.
concerns in that area.
Just shush.
Yeah.
Item 11.
We're just going to take a moment to actually acknowledge the work that councillor Penrose has done. We'll get back to dogs
Absolutely.
later.
My
Now,
apologies, I was going to talk about this.
You started it.
you started it,
Sorry.
you finished it.
Who let the dogs out?
Who's talking about
Sir John.
We've all got open
Madam
minds.
Chairman,
The dogs out.
I'd like to end on a positive note. The whitewater rafting was launched in Manukau over the weekend, last Tuesday, to a huge success. Prime Minister was there, a lot of dignitaries. And to see the kids and the people enjoying it's going to be an asset to Manukau as well as Auckland. So I'd just like to end up on a positive note.
Good on you, Sir John, thank you. Watch those medals flow. And on that positive note, Steve and Pam, warm welcome. So this is our chance to get updated on the tripartite economic summit.
Thank you very much. First of all, can I just acknowledge Councillor Fletcher, just on behalf of Brett and the team at AT, apologies for your loss.